Hi everybody! Okay, welcome to Indie Bells Vlogs. We are here at Radio Venice studio. We're getting ready to do some interviews with the one and only Mike Telega and Mr. Johnny Fransisco. They're at sound check right now. How you doing today, Johnny?
Hi, very good to meet you. Yeah.
What was the first song you learned to sing?
Okay. Yeah, I've seen your stuff. For sure.
Rock and roll. I don't know. This is Mr. Mike Telega. He's going to be playing today on Radio Venice TV. Tell us where you were born and raised.
I was born in Hermitage, Pennsylvania, and I was raised there.
What was the first instrument you learned to play?
The trumpet. At the time that I picked up the trumpet to play it, it was, grade school, probably 6th or 7th grade. I wanted to play the drums, but so did every kid, So I think the music teacher, you come into the room and, what instrument do you want to play? I want to play the drums. Great, you're going to play the trumpet.
I learned that there's an alto trumpet and a soprano trumpet.
It's a B-flat trumpet. I guess I was a pretty good trumpet player, but I didn't care for the instrument back then. And, I remember I played in the orchestra. There was band and orchestra. And then I was a little bit of a punk kid, and I remember I glued dice on the valves of my trumpet, and the orchestra.
So you were pushing down dice instead of those
valves.
Valves.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Valves. Yeah.
So you were already being mischievous.
Well, he threw me out of the band. He wouldn't let me play in the band.
You could be a superhero. What would you be and why?
Whew. If I could be a superhero, flying would be pretty cool.
So you would be a flying superhero?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it'd be pretty cool just to walk on the deck and superhero.
What comes to mind with the word inspiration?
Oh, inspiration. I think, obviously to be inspired to do something, and, whatever that is, I think it could be people. I think it could be sounds. It could be feelings, from sounds. But, just motivation to do something is what I think of being inspired in. Something that gets you from point A to point B, and you're inspired to do it. Yeah, I think so. And I think it's weird how, what can inspire you? It's like silly little things or sounds or sensations that bring upon some sort of feeling within you. As far as inspiration, it's usually sounds. Like I think of music. Music's one of those ones that, as at a young age, you hear songs from that, you might have heard, 20 years ago, but it still has like a certain feeling, like where you were or what you were doing. So, what am I thinking as I'm walking through the city? Wow, that could be very diverse, what I'm thinking about any given time. But if it's in line with inspiration, I think it's, things that move me, things that I want to be better at, things that I want to translate to the world.
And what instrument do you play today, and when did you start playing the instrument?
I'll play today the guitar, and I started playing the guitar early teenage years. I would say 13, 14. My father bought me my first guitar when I think it was my 12th birthday. But I didn't play, and I didn't know what to do with it at that time. It just kind of sat in the corner, and I pick it up and play some power chords every now and again.
Oh.
And then I think eventually I started picking it up.
And do you remember what song you started to play when you first started continuing to play it more practice?
It would have been some punk rock song. I mean, if I had to dig up what the first song I played, it was probably Iron Man. That would be my
How did it go? That's sweet.
Ba 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 da 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 ba ba ba. Yeah. And I didn't know.
First song to play. I could feel that.
It's easy. Looking back, power chords are very easy, and I never knew the song.
Now I can't stop playing. No wonder why it got you.
Yeah, how much easier can it get,
I never tried to play it before, but
you should
now
try it tonight.
I might be able to play a guitar song.
I
can't
think
play a
anybody
song.
could. Or like Smoke on the Water. Like Smoke on the Water. I didn't know the song as a kid, but I knew just from people. Like, hey, here's how it goes. You know, so.
Well, that's another good one. That's another good one.
Yeah. Dun, 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 bum, 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 bum. You know, I mean, it's.
Oh my God, it's almost
like
the
the same
same but
chorus.
reverse.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's something like that.
Something like that. Okay. Wow, that's really cool. That's amazing. Um. Hmm. Ooh,
I'm still thinking of superhero.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm gonna think about that for the next year.
Okay, good. Thank you. I would like to ask you a new question though, if that's okay.
That's okay.
Something that you know about music trivia fact. Some
Ooh.
random music fact. Could be instrumental or song based.
I'm sure I know some good trivia in there. I'm trying to pull it out.
Aye.
Whew.
I made it too hard, huh? It's hard to think on the spot, I know.
Music trivia fact. Yeah, man, I'm poor at digging up. You know, it'll come to me at like some random hour tonight or tomorrow. Like, oh,
Wait,
that's what
okay,
she
that's all right. That's okay. I'll put that one aside so we can add it later. Just take a little video, you know, with and send it in. I'll move to the next one. What was the first song that you learned to sing? Oops, what was the first song you learned to sing? Because I know you thought I was going to say, what was the first song you learned to sing?
No, you know, singing wasn't something I did a lot of most of my life. So it wasn't that long ago. I mean, I'm sure I sung songs as a kid, but not, you know, really trying to sing them. Every time I would sing, people would be like, yeah, don't do that.
Oh.
So, you know, I got hell-bent, you know, maybe 2010-ish of learning some songs and, you know, just covers. And, you know, I was into Jack Johnson, I think, at that time. It was probably a Sublime or Jack Johnson song, you know, something to play the guitar and sing.
A little bit light and simple.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, I'll let you send us that too. And you think is there somebody or something that somebody told you once that left you in that that's a good thing to remember note?
Yeah, definitely. On that, I think of my dad, and he was a bass player, and I remember at an early age, you know, maybe talking music. You know, the house was filled with a lot of music. He played polka music.
Oh yeah.
You know, jazz and polka, but
okay.
You know, he was in a pretty big polka band that I guess was nominated for a Grammy, and I don't know all the history, but where I'm going.
That's a big deal, by the way.
It is a big deal, and it's a big deal. The genre is a big deal, but I don't know much about it at all. So, but back to your question of something that somebody said, you know, I do remember him saying to me often that, you know, it's not the notes you play, it's really the notes you choose not to play.
Oh,
and
wow!
That's
you must really have to know your songs.
I think it's even, you know, even on an elementary level. I mean, we want to get good, and we want to be great at something. And really, some of the greatest stuff is how little is there. Like Iron Man.
Yeah,
you know, how little is there, but you know,
it
everybody
doesn't sound
knows
that
who
way
Iron Man
when
is.
you're here. Yeah. Wow.
So, and that was always his thing. Mike, it's not what you play; it's what you don't play.
Wow, the space in between.
Correct.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that. Thank you.
Let's hear it. Can you do some singing?
YMCA. Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, that's a beautiful story. Sorry, that was a little Venice boardwalk afternoon soundbite. If you could think of a song, what was the first song, I guess? I'm going to go into songs that you've written. If you could think about a lowest low lyric and a highest high lyric.
A lowest low lyric. Highest high.
One of my
You're stumping me with these questions here.
I understand. I know.
I think all my songs are like the lowest low. So okay,
Okay.
which is the lowest denominator.
So then we have one of them. That'll work.
No, I think I have a song called "Please Leave the Light On." I won't play it tonight, but I think, and I didn't mean it to be necessarily, a lot of songs, how they come out and how you hear them and how the public hears them isn't really often what I intended them to be.
Right.
It's
I
like
understand.
I often want to write a lot of upbeat, happy songs, and they all come out downbeat and not happy. So
oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
you go in with one. That's what you're speaking out of. Isn't that beautiful?
yeah, I think so. I
I
had
like that.
people tell me, yeah, you got to write some upbeat songs, and it's like they just come out this way. I don't mean to, but I think so. The lowest low. I have this song called "Please Leave the Light On," and just the first. It's a line that I repeat. It's like the first of each verse, and it's I don't feel like myself today, and it's like for some reason, it just a lot of times when I'm writing, I'm just kind of spitballing songs out into the ether, playing something on the guitar, throwing something out, and this, hey, I don't feel like myself today. I'm feeling low, and that's the whole line. And when I play that live, I realize maybe people in the audience, I kind of sense this that are you okay? I think they want to know if I'm okay when I'm playing that.
It's really how do you go through those.
Correct.
How do you go through that, and how did you get through? Leave the light on because it's a little bit hard to get through.
Yeah. And it wasn't like I was,
That's beautiful.
looking
I
to slit
love
my
that.
wrist in some dark room, but it was wow, how it translates. Like whoa, okay, it has some power. So
I understand.
that's probably the lowest, but I'm sure there's competing ones that I'm not thinking of. And then the highest high lyric, I'm coming up blank on the highest high.
Well, you said you read a lot of low lyrics, so maybe there's like another lyric that popped into your head that it might be a little difficult.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's high ones, and but again, this one that I'm thinking of high.
It's really hard. I can't even think about some music sometimes. Like sitting here, I'm like, wait, what? How did it go? And then you're like, oh yeah. So I understand.
No, I appreciate that, and but I think of highest high. I mean, I have a lyric that is, it is literally I should be so high. It's like so. I don't know. In words, that's that's what comes to my mind. But in fact, that's interesting because here I am. I think part of the gist of the song is I'm sort of not feeling very high, but I should be. But it's it comes in the song that, and I possibly will play that one tonight. No, I won't.
I understand that. That's another one of those moments where you're thinking about the good news. Why it's a good, beautiful song is you've been thinking about how to pull yourself up in your soul. I think that's why you think you're writing a beautiful song, but everybody has to go down first.
Right.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. If you could think of 3 words to describe yourself, what would you think?
How long do I have? No. 3 words.
That's okay. Come on through.
I would
Do you know what
say.
number you're going to?
Yeah, number 2. 2.
You gotta go down one more level.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And these are 3 words that I think of myself, or to describe myself. As an artist, as in musically, or
Well,
just
yeah,
as a
there's
person?
3.
All
Yes.
the above.
Yes.
I mean,
How do you see yourself in this world? Like, if you could take 3 words to see of how you see yourself in the world.
yeah, I would say honest. Honest comes to mind first. Honest. I would say simple, but I think it's probably complicated. As much as I don't want to
I
get that.
understand.
So honest,
Simple and complicated.
simple and complicated. Yeah.
That's brilliant. I love it. Thank you. Any shout outs that you'd like to send to anybody? And if you have any life advice that you'd like to share with
Oh
anybody.
man. You know, I spent a lot of time as a snowboarder and a skateboarder, you know, in a seemingly different life. And I remember watching, you know, snowboard videos until we wore them out. You know, they were like VHS tapes at that time. And you'd like watch them so much, you'd wear the tape out. But I remember they'd have like interviews between the riding. And I always remember, you know, people saying they shouldn't let these guys talk.
I watch the words roll off your lips and disappear into the air, and I'm feeling warmth blowing through my window while my heart's been hanging out alone. Come underneath the same stars tonight. Could be a million miles away, but I know that you're out there underneath the same sky, underneath the same stars tonight.
Yes.
Here sitting with us, Mr. Johnny San Francisco. If you'd like to give us a little bit of information, tell us how you got your name and where you were born and raised, and what inspired you to start playing music.
So Johnny's my birth name, and then actually connected here to Venice. I met a gentleman named Isaac Irvin. He's,
Oh yes, shout
I
out
think, a
Isaac.
friend, yeah.
Hi Isaac Irvin.
And this project in the pandemic, we were all locked up at home, and Isaac was kind enough to have a virtual show almost weekly for, I think he went 26 weeks in the pandemic.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
and then he'd ask us if we were not
Open
in
mic
Venice.
nights.
Open mic nights. And I live up in San Francisco, and
Is that how you got the name Johnny San Francisco?
yeah, so Isaac had asked everyone in our video to put your name and your city, so he could keep track of us. I think it was someone who was watching this show comment, "Hey, Johnny San Francisco, what a great stage name."
Oh,
And then I came back the
wow.
next week, and Isaac introduced me as Johnny San Francisco, and it just stuck. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Shout
and,
out.
I think it was a guy named Kenny Burke, a friend of the Venice show, had said, "What a great name." So there you go.
And shout out to Kenny Burke for
Yeah,
the
that's
inspirational name. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what was the first instrument you learned to play?
Yeah, so I learned how to play the clarinet.
Wow, that
Yeah.
was your first instrument.
Yeah.
Now, is the clarinet have a certain key? Is it a
Well, I
soprano
mean,
or a flat?
I didn't stick with it long, so it's part of the inspiration. So
Okay.
my late father is a jazz clarinet player,
Oh.
and so he wanted me to do what he did, and so I did the whole band thing, and then
Jazz clarinet.
yeah.
So could you give us a little sound bite of what a jazz clarinet
I
might sound
couldn't
like?
even tell you, but if you think
Okay.
about go listen to and like big band too, like go listen to Benny Goodman, folks like that. You can hear that what my dad loved. But I not long after that I came to him and said, "Hey, this isn't very rock and roll like a clarinet." My big sister was listening to the Who and Zeppelin and bands like that, and I was like, I kind of want to do that. And my dad, I could see my dad's shoulders kind of sink, but he loved music. He's like, "All right, what are you gonna do?" I go, "Guitar," and that was it. So, but he was the
Nice.
inspiration. There's always music.
Nice.
with
Well,
him.
so what was the first kind of music you played on the guitar?
Yeah, I mean, my buddy, he inherited a guitar from his big brother. I just saw him recently, my buddy Matt Loman.
Aw, you got a lot of shout outs there, man.
Yeah, man. And we were down, we were 12, 13 years old in the basement, and we were trying to play Dio covers.
Oh, you went straight into rock and roll.
Yeah, we.
I was thinking maybe you were just like
yeah.
jazzing out,
Oh,
like
no.
playing jazz on the guitar.
And
No.
And we were terrible.
Oh.
It was fun. Yeah.
Things that you think about when you're walking down the street.
Oh yeah, I daydream a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, so I have to make sure I don't trip and fall. Yeah, I'm often sort of 20 places at once, and I'm kind of thinking about like, hey, what do I get stuff you gotta get done today? Sometimes I'll be thinking about music. Sometimes I'll be thinking about my dogs.
Aww.
Yeah.
So you go from daydream to like, oh, I gotta take care of business.
Take the trash out. And I get
Nice. I like that. Could you tell us a little bit about a moment that kind of struck to you to inspire you to play and write songs?
It was probably some of those first live shows I went to. There was just something about live music that you just kind of feel it in your body. And I don't know if it was the vibrations, or then ultimately I think when I started to hear other people tell stories of music, I love that. I love telling stories. If you listen. And so I think it was kind of that. Yeah, I'd point to that.
Okay.
There's good old fashioned breakup songs. There's songs.
Did you write
about,
a breakup song?
Oh, more than one, of course.
Oh no.
But that's-
So what was the lowest low lyric?
Oh no, jeez. No, it's just. Yeah.
I
mean,
did them.
no, look. I think that the music
what's
I
one
write.
that pops in your head then is the lowest low lyric?
Lowest low lyric. I mean, look. Maybe I might play a song today here that has this lyric in it, but it's just like I'm asking. I'm sort of talking about taking care of myself and getting better before that other person bettered me, right? And there was always sort of that, like,
oh wow,
and she was never going to get me better. I had to kind of do it, or I had to do it, not kind of. And so, I would say that because look, I'm human. There's been great, there's been good, there's been ugly, and but yeah.
Do you happen to have a high lyric? Tonan, that's a rhyme. Tonan, meet Johnny, San Francisco.
Probably one of my newer songs. It's about I actually don't know how to swim. It's a fun fact. And
Swimming lessons for a rock star.
Yeah. I just have never figured out how to do it. And but I talk about sort of putting on my water wings and floating away. And sort of an introspection there, right? Like looking in and recognizing that, hey, there's always something new for me out there, and maybe I'll figure it out.
So you do this inside out, float away.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Sure.
That's beautiful. Was there a song that your mom or your dad used to sing to you as a child that you would like to share?
Oh. It's interesting. I just figured this out recently. So when I was younger, my dad used to walk around the house, and he would say, "Hey, Bob Bariba," and I never knew what that was. Hey, Bob Bariba. Yeah, I was like, "What is that?" And it drove my mom nuts. Like if you asked her today, she would roll her eyes and be like, "Oh my God, he used to drive me nuts." And then one day I was at a record store, and I'm like, "I think that's a song," and we found it.
What is the song?
It's a Lionel Hampton song.
And it goes,
Hey, Bob Bariba. Hey, Bob Bariba.
Hey, Bob Bariba.
Yeah.
And did your mom still get mad?
Of course.
Oh, but she loved it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace,
Yeah.
Papa. That's a beautiful memory. Thank you so much. And on our way inside, will you share with us if you could be a superhero, what would you be and why?
Oh, superhero! I would save all the dogs in the world. Give them homes. I love all
Save
dogs.
the animals.
Let's go. We're gonna have fun. Mike Telega.
Yay.
Beautiful songs. Wait to hear it. I'm gonna play on one of them. It's gonna be fun.
Lovely.
Yeah.